Hello, hello, hello. My name's Kyle Van Voors with Voors.com, and today we're going to discuss how to navigate conversations on cold calls. Let's dive right in. Alrighty, folks, so I'm super excited to talk about today's topic because I'm a firm believer that your cold calls should really be conversations, not just trying to get a meeting on the calendar. And it can be tough sometimes because if you've ever tried to have a conversation with a stranger who you've called out of absolutely nowhere, it can be pretty difficult to get them to open up and actually communicate with you what their business challenges are. So I've created a framework to help you navigate these conversations, and the goal is we're going to improve these conversations over time. Beware, this is some pretty nerdy cold call stuff. I'm going to share with you really what's going on under the surface, right? More psychology than actual tactics today. And if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe so that way I can keep making stuff like this. All right. Without further ado, let's go dive into some flowcharty nerdy stuff. All right, so what we're looking at here is a simple flowchart that's supposed to walk you through what's going on when you're having these conversations with prospects. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through step by step and kind of explain some of the scenarios that are taking place so that way you better understand, or at least have a deeper understanding of what's really going on. So everything starts at the problem, right? A big focus when you're navigating a conversation is to understand the problem that the business owner has today, or whoever the decision maker is that you're speaking with. Once you've identified a problem, there's one really important question. What's the impact of that problem, right? So if you look there, does it have impact? If it doesn't, we need to find a new problem, right? Because who's going to be convinced to see a solution to a problem that doesn't really impact their business at all, right? So the important piece here is impact. And if we keep going, so let me scroll down a little bit here. If it does have an impact, the next part of this equation is, do they have a proposed solution? Because a business owner or a decision maker, when there's a challenge, they're going to try to solve that challenge, especially if what? If it has a big impact. Exactly. So what I want to do here is break down for you what types of decision makers there are. There's ones that have proposed solutions, and there's others that just don't have a proposed solution at all, or maybe this is such a new problem that they haven't figured it out yet. In both of these scenarios, we're going to get to the point of us sharing our solution. But before we do, we have to make sure that if they have their own proposed solution, that we're aligned with it, or if we're not. And the reason why we do that, and that's the next step here, are we aligned? The reason why we do that is because if we're aligned with the solution, this is the perfect scenario. Okay, they have a problem, they understand the impact of their problem, they have a solution to that problem, and we happen to be the solution. So what would an example of this be like? Let's say the problem, the impact of the problem is they're not hitting their revenue targets. And their proposed solution is they need to improve their internal processes in order to increase their team's efficiency, which ultimately will drive more revenue for the organization. That's great. Now, what if you sold a solution that totally improved their processes? That would be totally aligned with what they're looking for. Boom, total slam dunk, right? That's the best case scenario. Often we're either not aligned or they don't have a really clearly defined solution to that problem. And that's where you're going to propose your own solution. At the end of this flowchart that I've taken you through is the only spot where you pitch. That's important to realize. You're not pitching anytime before. So let me walk through an example. Problem, my sales reps aren't hitting their quota. Okay, well, what's the impact of that? There is no impact. That's not true, but if there was, we'd find a different problem, right? But if you ask, your salespeople aren't hitting quota, what's the impact of that? It's, we're not hitting our growth targets. Okay, so let me ask you, how are you trying to solve this today? Well, I'm focused on getting more technology for my team. I'm getting more training for my team, whatever it might be. Oh, so you do have a proposed solution. Great. What do I do? Well, we work with early stage startup companies and we help them improve their inside sales function. So we're pretty aligned there because we provide process help, technology support, and we also do some training. So when I propose my solution, I'm saying, well, you know what? This is great because you're talking to the right guy. And now I can close with the context of what their challenges are, the impacts of those challenges, and how they plan on solving it. And that's it, folks. It's pretty simple, right? But this stuff's happening deep under the surface. And if you're not asking questions to try to dive into the problem, the impact, and their proposed solution, we're not going to get anywhere. We have to understand what's going on under the surface in these calls if we want any chance of being able to position our solution as a true solution to their problems. Hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk soon.